Hello everyone, my name's Vicky Avson. I'm a designer with CraftsuPrint, and today I'd like to show you how to assemble my latest uploads, my pop-up cards. Try and keep this short. So I've done a bit of prep work. Now each kit you will get the first page, which has the front of the card which you're going to build on. It'll have some decoupage pieces. Again, the front of the card. It will have the second sheet, which has the second layer and some more decoupage pieces. And there will be more decoupage pieces on the cards that are listed. I've only printed out the pieces I want. This is the fourth sheet, which is the back. Again, there's more decoupage, and the third sheet, which has the third layer and some decoupage. So I'm going to get right on into assembling this card. So the first thing you do is you take your front. Now before I cut anything out, I score the score lines, and I then stick the back, which is sheet 4, the back on, so you've got a nice area there to write on. I've also cut out all my layers, and I also have all my decoupage pieces cut out. And for saving time, I've already put the double-sided tape on the back of them ready. So I'll get on and show you how to assemble. Some of the things that you will need is some double-sided tape for sticking your front and your back together. I prefer double-sided tape rather than a wet glue. You'll need your preferred method of cutting. I use a cutting knife and a steel ruler. Pair of scissors, your scorer for scoring your lines on all your folds, a bone folder to make sure that your folds are nice and sharp, and for gluing the layers on I use a glossy accents. I prefer that to double-sided tape. I've found the double-sided tape doesn't stick all that well. I've also got some small pegs which I got from the craft section in my local store, and I'll show you what they're for shortly. The card I'm making is a dog's card, and like I said, I've done some work, so what I'll do is I just build up all my layers, and I prefer to do this before actually going and doing the card. I've put some little sparkly collar on that little dog. It's a lot easier to do all your decoupage before you start gluing. On my second layer I've got my little Pekingese with my little Dalmatian puppies and my Border Collie, and this little Border Collie is actually my daughter's little fur baby. And on my last layer, you don't have to use every single piece of decoupage. You can just add one and leave it at that if you want. And my little Rodion, and I'll use that third layer for my Alsatian. I leave my last two pieces usually until right at the end, and when it's all made up, then I decide where I'm going to put it. So what we do to start assembling this is we fold our tabs over, and if you look on the front of the sheet, you'll see there's 3 layers. That's where your tabs go. So make sure I've got nice sharp creases, and I start putting my glue on. So making sure this edge here is a good coverage so that it sticks right to the edge. And then all you do is line up the pink and the pink. And one of the reasons I prefer a wet glue is because if they move, you can slide it around and get it into place. Once I've got it in place, lining up the edges, I get a peg and I just put it in there like that. And this one's a little tricky. This one's not going to go, so I'll just have to hold that for a second and make sure that that sticks well. Gets a bit of a bond. And then I do my other side. Glue on it, make sure it's spread out nice and evenly. A little bit more. Just make sure it's got a good coverage. And again, line that up, making sure the ends are flush, and put my peg in. I may have to go and find something bigger, but that's your first layer done. Do the second layer. These are mountain folds. The folds on the front of the card are valley folds, so just making sure they're nice and crisp. And again, go back, glue the edge, and another peg, and line the yellow section up with the yellow lines on the card. Put the peg in to hold it. And this one I may be able to just get that peg down there. And then the same again, plenty of glue. Spread it out, make sure there's plenty right along that edge. This dries clear, so if it does ooze out a little bit, it doesn't matter, it's not really seen. And again, line this up with my yellow line, put my peg in there, line it up with the yellow, making sure that it's flush on the end. I'll try and sneak another little one on this side to hold it up. And lastly, do the same with your third layer. Having pre-creased all your folds. And once again, third layer, or your front layer, which really is the most important one, because that has to sit flush with the bottom and flush with the edge of your card. Just pop peg on there. And a bit more glue. Making sure it's spread right to the edge. And again, lining it up with the edge of the card and the base right at the front there. That's why I like to use wet glue for these ones. And just so that it does sit neatly, I like to pop a little peg in there. And again, if I can get it in under my decoupage, just a little peg. So once that basically is the assembly of your card. That's moved a little bit because it's wet glue. So I have two pieces now. I can decide. I've got a little dog bowl for this one, which I will just put on the front there with a little birthday message on it. Dog on, it's your birthday. And my little bone, I'm going to just put on the back of the card. I love my dog. And there's the card assembled. So although these cards do look quite tricky, they really aren't, and they will fold, when it's dry, they will fold flat to put in a, I think it's a 6x6 envelope. And that's your card assembly. So thank you for watching. You'll see some more of my cards with the cup numbers that are already on the site. I hope you'll like them, and thank you for watching.